Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to Around the Game. It's Wednesday, the show Around the Game. Tonight, I'm with our son, in particular, our basketball son, Mr. Monday Baker Chambard. Baker, you're really welcome.
I'm humbled, sir. Thank you for the invitation, Mr. Vinny.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you here.
I'm humbled to be invited here.
Today, it's all smiles in the studio, and I know the viewers are so excited to have you.
Oh, I'm humbled. I know you can't see me, but I'm humbled also being part of this show, and hope we'll get the best out of everything.
Yeah, so the first question, who is Baker Monday Chambard? I know you have lots of names, but tell us about yourself.
Wow. Baker Monday. I've got 5 names. Baker, Monday, Chambade, Ntale, Njuki. Ntale is for my mom, because my mom, she's a princess from Uganda Kingdom. So that name was given that. In English, you stay as a prince. In Uganda, you're Sava. Njuki is family name. I come from the famous Njuki family. My late dad, Alhaji Njuki, who passed on recently. And I'm carrying that name Njuki because right now I am the head. I'm the chairman for all the 700 people from the Njuki family.
Okay.
Simple man. I was born in Mengo, Ragod village, and I also grew up, did my university levels at Kamocha, Chifumbira, where my dad has got a home as well. So, down to earth person, free person, that's who Baker is.
Okay, tell us about your childhood, the way you grew up. Of course, being a third world country, you know it's always a hassle. So we want to know, how was your childhood, Jan?
I thank God I reached where I was born. My dad had some small money. It's available. So during my primary to secondary, I never had any experience about issues basically for the basic needs wasn't the issue. School fees wasn't an issue. However, when I joined the campus, now that's why issues because there are other siblings coming through. My dad now is now working, is out of active duties in the area. The key thing he did for me that I won't forget in my life is that he showed me the called social capital strength. My dad, during this time when we were serving in the old regimes, one of them being Idi Amin's regime, that's why I know him mostly. He was with his comrade, who's now Professor Badru Katerega, the VC, Kampala University. So he spoke to him and told him, my son is a sportsman. Money is now an issue for education. How can we do that? Help him out. Because after doing my senior 6, which was Eagle's Nest, because I went through, first of all, lucky enough with me, I did my primary 7 at Chimbo Blue, just in our ghetto areas. During the first session of high school, I was at Naga Khan. Then the second level of O level, I did there's a school called Kithende College School. That's when I started now picking up my basketball love in that area. Then Eagles Nest by the time was the booming school for basketball, mostly first nationals. And please note this, I was the first Ugandan as a captain for basketball at Eagles Nest National School. So that was something key and good for me in that area. So in that area now, when I moved into university, when the professor, before that 2003 when I finished my high school, 2004, I did my CCA at Makerere University. But now I wanted to do computer science and ICT. Makerere was giving either you do ICT or computer science. I was feeling betrayed that way because I was saying, if anybody can do ICT, you're doing only computer science, you're also not given that chance of the platform area, the visual area. So lucky, I get lucky. Kampala University says we can give you both as a course. So my basketball area, my dad wrote a simple letter to the VC introducing me to him, and there I was paying 50%. So now the other 50% is for the university is paying for me because of sports and everything like that. Now the other remaining 50% is supposed to be me and my mom now. It wasn't easy at all. It wasn't easy starting fending for yourself at that time at 17, 18 years. It wasn't easy at all. But the discipline of sports, I got lucky. I was among the first people to start now doing basketball when I joined the Charging Rhino Athletics Club. I got just to be mentored through basketball and exposed to what they call the beginning, where the founders of Kampala Kids League, KKL. Most people know the Steven Bengals of Uganda, who had product of side. There's Dorian, who's right now playing for national team of Greece. That's who I worked with. I started working with those guys there. So I was coaching people under 14 basketball, and on record, I won all my championships when I was at time under 14, and also got a chance to win my first football under 14 girls in 2007. That acted up now. I have it. I take it with pleasure because football has been my key sport, but because of the mentality and learning from basketball skill, I passed on the mentality to the young girls and won the championship. So basically, that's how my upbringing started from my area.
So the name Baker Mandel is a household name. I mean, you approach any basketball arena and you talk about Baker Mandel, everyone knows Baker. So why the love for sports, in particular basketball?
If the early 2000s, basketball started taking its way in Uganda. There are a few basketball courts. There was Makerere, there was Old Kampala, I talk about Central here, there was YMCA. But if I can take you just slightly behind my past life, Msajamba Flats, where it's a big fence, one area will be for basketball, football, cricket for the Indians as well, badminton. But there's a group of guys, one of called is called Yasa Matov, the Uma family. That young man got, you know what they call these dry wires they use for hanging clothes? He made one and put up on the fence. That's time what's prior to going on now. So we'll play basketball in a wire rim. I could say that, mounted on a net. So there's concrete, there's no measurement, there's no any dimension of any sort of idea. So, but now basketball is now picking up interest now. A few people would get a chance to watch TV that now in Uganda at our age is now taking the lead in that area. So given that now basketball, I picked interest so much because it seemed the easiest sport for us. It was open. It would link now that area now in Mengo, it would link the high class levels, the middle class, and the down last person on the ground. So with that, I picked that. Guess what happens to me now? As I grow interest, the next court nearby was Old Kampala. Now in Old Kampala, it has got their own kings. One of them being Ikong Joseph Anyuru. Trust me, getting on that court was not easy at all. Because first of all, it would be them, the owners of the court. Then if they have got respect and you humble, get an opportunity. That they be said because the team of the guys, it was not easy. Bullying was very high that time, but if you love what you want you go through it. So right now, when I find me and you come with same level, same age mates, nothing beyond that. So that's where I pick my interest, that level. And then lucky during my O levels, I joined Rhino Athletic Basketball Club because as junior rhinos and senior rhinos, we had the famous Abraham Lincoln, they called Ebelink during that time. So the mentorship was always start teach you how to coach basketball with the fundamentals, how to officiate basketball, and how to play basketball.
Whether you're a kid, whether you're...
It doesn't matter. By the way, in Rhinos, interesting. You know, the time when I was given a chance, 2002, 2003, I was the head coach for Charging Rhino basketball senior team, and I was the youngest in the team. What would happen during training, the seniors, the Damages, the Ronnie Caldes, the Robert Mugabes, the Mande Junis, during the week, they run the training session. I'm also running through the training session. During the game time, my powers are given to me. And one guy who's a senior, Robert Namaji, will tell you, whatever decision you make, it's not affecting only you. It's you, the team, and the whole fraternity. Because basketball, Rhino had the big name.
First, before we proceed, why are you the coach of the club itself during game day?
Now you see, because you learned how to coach, you learned how to ref, now you're learning how to play. So you're more brains are more on these two areas than the playing. Playing is still growing. Now these senior players have gone through all these phases now. It's time for them to execute. So now you call a timeout and listen to me. And this is something that now I carry. The first, because timeout is 50 seconds. The first 20 seconds as the coach, keep quiet. Players, too much energy. As they finish taking energy and water like that, they say, guys, I've seen A, B, C, D. Because when you're out, as you know in the whole world, the best coach or referee is the spectator. The guys, as my angle view, I've seen we're missing here, here, here. This person is killing us from this area. Because the seniors done, they just comprehend what I've given them with their levels of a game and execute. And those 2 years we were in the finals twice. But we lost to Falcons and Power. So, but it's alright. That's how sports is.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So there's no secret to your very development in the Ugandan league. You've inspired a lot of people, grown a lot of players. What is your role in FIBA, federation itself?
The key thing which has helped me to basketball basically is they are seniors. So when I was mentored through the refereeing course and career as well, I got a chance to work with people like Presido, Mr. Rumu Edmond, who's now Afande Imelda from the prison area. Those people, they are YYs, who's now I think is Mombasa or Kisumu. The Tomo Kamuringas of the time. They gave me one thing. This is when you stay humbled and keep focused to what you love, you won't go either way. It will keep you disciplined because you have got accountability. This is what we're missing nowadays. People don't have accountable to anybody. But now those guys didn't now hold back anything because I was humble. I was with them. They keep planting anything, any skill, anything new, keep in my head. So with that in mind, I grew into phases. 1 as a player, 2 as a coach, then 3 in management area. So what happens now? First of all, I was the first in Africa, youngest FIBA zonal referee. Now by that time, in 2008, yeah, to be a zonal referee, you must have been at the age of 30. You understand that? Yeah. I was 25. Now they have to think about it if it's possible. There's a person, there's a commissioner, may God forgive me, I went wrong. It's called Majid. He was from Egypt. He came to Uganda 2008, and then they gave me my report because I started briefing National League 2002.
How old are you by then?
Oh man, I don't remember then, but I was. And you know what's interesting? What's interesting is the trust my seniors gave me, like Mr. Rumu, what he gave me. Mr. Rumu, even when I finished my high school in 2003, Mr. Rumu would give me NBL games now, you know. But he don't take me to high school because he tells me now in high school your age mates there, you're gonna be, you'll be there playing with your friends, so you don't give a good job. Yet here in NBL, he was seeing, and I'm ready to serve at that level, national level. So he would give me big games. And one of the games that were given me in my life, I won't forget that game. It was Warriors, charging Rhino, and I was the player for Rhino. And this is the game. There's a game 3 of the playoffs. So that time there's not this thing people saying because this is your team you're biased. No. By the time Ambrose was former president, was a player.
And you were referee.
Dr. Musanas, yes. I was a player for charging when during the season now. Now playoffs have come through. I think the nationals are ongoing at the same time. Mr. Rumu says I've nominated Baker and one of the senior referee. I don't remember his name. I ref the game and Rhino lost in double overtime. Yes. And that game walked away and there was no any criticism from Warriors saying go bad. No. It's because they knew integrity was key. And because they'd seen me grow through the ranks of officiation, they gave that opportunity that. So that now started now grooming you. Now 2010 comes and I am made to travel to Dakar for my international licensing, FIBA international licensing now. That was one of the hardest experiences in my life. I got a communication. Nominations came through. That time it was 4 million shillings to travel.
That was quite a lot.
Oh man, it was huge money to talk about. First of all, so this is why people don't understand. That's why I tell you, staying humble is very key. There's a man called Mr. Justice. He's my big brother in basketball. I told him, I've got this nomination. I don't have money. I'm going to ask for my mom. That day, I went to my mom's home. I told Mommy, I've got this nomination. I've got no money, but I got 4 million shillings. My mom cried. She said, the senior sent it. Senior sent it to Kwesi. Mama wange n'agenda neyewola million emu n'ekitundu. Went back to Mr. Mugisha, you know what? Mama is giving 1.5 now. What do I do? Federation at the time I just now struggling to get some money from MTN. By that time, basically there was no money coming through that area. Remember, no, first remember, we're going to give you $200 for us. So you look for another $200 for registration, flight, accommodation. Great. So that guy, Justice, took me to Grace Squeezer.
Which Grace Squeezer?
Grace Squeezer.
This one.
The one we know.
What?
Of City Oil. They took me to Kabira Country Club. They talked to a guy called, there was Silva, Rugamba, there was Mohammed Aisantul, National Team Manager Uganda.
When was this?
That is 2010. There's Haji Hassan, City Oil, yeah. Those 4 guys sat down and Mucha told him, this young man, you don't know him. He's a great basketball referee in Uganda. There's an opportunity. He has got 1.5 million shillings. He needs 4 million shillings. Those guys sat, the 4 of them there, and told me the following day, go to, I won't forget, Bombo Road, City Oil, and pick the remaining money. This man didn't know me. Because only thing they knew was playing pickup at Kabira. That's all. Before I even started playing, making City Oil, I went to Zimbabwe. I went to Dakar. Before leaving, because I got money last minute, I could not get the visa. I called Madam Penda Kabenge and told me we can find a way. She called the former GS, Just Pariga West, the brother. He told me, that's now around now. After getting the money, I booked the ticket because it was Kenya Airways. I bought the ticket. Now he told me to go. National Council of Sports. Write for me later, claiming that I'm going to get the visa code of entry in Dakar. With my small basic French. You understand what I'm talking about here? So after getting that, I got the letter. Now I look for Jasper in Kampala so he can sign. They stamped the letter from there, so but I have to look for him so he can sign. Then Madam Pena gave me and said, no, the president of Dakar is called Papa. When reach Dakar, find a way of calling this number, tell him it's Pena. He will call me, then they can get clearance. First of all, leaving Nairobi, because leaving Entebbe was okay. Later, NCS, okay, go. Leaving Nairobi to go to Dakar, oh my God. They said we can't allow in West Africa. You have no visa, we can't allow. Now I'm reaching there. I find other people also from Tanzania also going. For them, that they didn't have a letter from their federation of their National Council of Sports. Now all of them have become a part of me now. Now my letter becomes now the voice for all of them. One of them is called Galiji, the soldier also that side there. Was with Peter Chirabo as well. For Peter, I was going to renew for him. I was going to renew, recycle. I find my way in Dakar. We had 3 hours waiting in Dakar. Then it's called Kotleba Lobo. One of the senior, the person who wrote the rule book of basketball. Okay, if I can make everybody understand. So I met him, and during the course, the first 2 days. The course was in French. So I had to pick only a few words, but the rule book was in English. Now the last 3 days of the course, it says, I'm sorry I've been helping everybody, but FIBA is moving English wide. So all of you, exams will be in English. Ha! I was the happiest man around, but I kept quiet because now I knew there's a fair ground for everybody now here. Then he spoke 3 words after we finished our exam: the fitness test, the theory test, the oral test, and the written. So he said FIBA does not look for quantity, they want quality. So if anybody makes through here, is good. Remember how I hustled to get the money? Now I don't know what's going to do with this guy. He has never seen me, doesn't know me. He doesn't care about anything. He's supposed to be the fountain of basketball rules and everything. When he says no, nobody can say otherwise. By that time, before now, Carl came now in. So we did the course, finished, came back to Kampala. Waited for 3 months
Before the results.
Because you do West Africa, you do North Africa. The only man was doing it everywhere. An email came through. I cried because in the whole group which was there, I was the youngest. So the career was not easy at all. It was not easy at all. Because in 2010, when I got that license, it's the same year I lost my job at ISU, National School of Uganda. What happened? Uganda had no money, but the Zone 5 got happening in Burundi. On the last minute, Uganda has to travel. Now, if you don't have, I want everybody, if you don't have an accompanying referee to go with the team in any FIBA event, the fine is $3,000. Which team can Uganda afford to do that? There's no money, first of all. We're going by bus. Teams are playing against are flying in from all over East and Central. It was around August. I left my workplace because it was the beginning of time. I didn't think it was so. It wasn't very hard at the time. We go to Jumbura. We were there for a week. We didn't do any good because Uganda was still struggling. Current was still low. Everything was still low at the time. Now coming back to Uganda, also my job is gone because the communication span was not approved by my bosses. I was hurt, and nobody helped me to recover from that. Getting me a job, no. So basketball time became, and guess what? How much you paid by FIBA every day? By that time, when you're accompanying referee, it's $20 a day. And I lost a job of $1,800 a month. It was a trial moment for me. It was a very hard moment for me at the time. But lucky enough, this was because of social capital as well. I meet a gentleman called Stuart Mugabe, the founder of 21st Century System, with Charles Babumba Douglas. People name as Snap. Given an opportunity to go to Zimbabwe, says you did a copy and I said, hey, there's SAP. SAP is called so it's an ERP which Mercedes-Benz uses, Coca-Cola does, Pepsi-Cola does, BMW does. But now I went to Zimbabwe to do a course for 2 years. So that's why you say, when you say, how have I been, why basketball? Where have I been? Why am I something in basketball? I've sacrificed for basketball. I've lost a job. I had level of begging for life, survive. I put my job online for basketball in Uganda, and I've not ashamed Uganda anywhere internationally.
Well, so what are your values as a referee?
One, the most important thing. As a partner as Baker, the bit about nominations for basketball. When we have a game, they will send me, you ref in game 3. I never carry a fixture. The only fixtures I carry is for my team I'm coaching, and when the referee I'm given nomination. Every time I go for a game, I am blunt, straight, fresh from nothing. I only find out the team I'm officiating when I'm there. Because I come through and I meet my partners 1 hour before the game, discussion, and I know, oh, because when you in basketball we're taught to scout the teams you're going to officiate. So I can't scout. So one of the things is I never keep a fixture, so I keep my brain focused like this. And secondly, when I make a missed call, if I miss a call on court, I say next time it happens, I must be more ready. Because I've been lucky to be that I've gone through all the fundamentals, all the areas. I've been a player. By the way, in 2008, when we had Zone 5 in Uganda, I mean, my career high as in 3-pointers. I had 8 3-pointers against Dynamos of Burundi. Being served by the time we were playing with the Diego Angemis, you guys are seeing right now. So I was a shooting guard for charging Rhino by the time. So that, the playing of the game, the coaching of the game, the refereeing of the game. I know how it feels when the referee doesn't make a call in my favor. I know how it feels when you are a coach on the sideline. I know when you're a player and receive an elbow and it's not being called or not seen. So given that 360 overview of the game, when I'm officiating, I know how painful it is if somebody doesn't give due performance. I can't give you 100%, impossible. I'm a human being. I'm going to make some errors. But at least, let me give you 90%. Let me give you. So that's now my criteria as a referee. And of course, then being exemplary. If you've seen me, when I finish my game like this, changing room, home. I don't discuss the game there. I go back home, I reflect. Because people have got emotions. People have got feelings. Most people, when they lose the games, they look for somebody to blame. When I'm coaching basketball, I look through. Usually, I ask for my statistics first. If I see I've got 50 turnovers, then I lost the game by 5 points. Why do I scream at the referee? Eh?
No need.
You go on the free throw line, you check your stats of free throw line, you've missed 28. You've lost by 2 points. Really? So now, because I've got that background in me, when I'm going to officiate as basketball, I go open and blunt like that.
Okay. So then, what are your values as a coach? Because you're very many things.
Yeah. No, as you know, in our country, third world country, you need to fend for yourself. If you can do and excel something, but I thank God for the blessing I've had in basketball. I believe I'll be successful in all aspects, as a coach manager, as a referee, and as a player. So as a coach, I do my homework with my boys. During pre-season, I do conditioning and endurance for my players. I can have 2 months when there's no basketball being touched. Towards the beginning of the season, start touching the basketball now. Scrimmage. So now that team chemistry and bonding. I can even go for any tournament. For example, recently, before COVID came through, we went for Javok tournament in Mbarara. It wasn't because Javok is a big tournament. No. My idea was I've looked at the new players, old players, jailing through that. And what happened with the boys? The boys were that they won Javok tournament. And me, my aim as a coach was to jail. For the players, when they got opportunity to win, say, right. So if you saw what happened when after that, when we came for UC Open, you know how the kids got. UC itself in winning a game was at last second to win the game. You know, Power couldn't believe what was happening. So I work on my players individually. I first work on each player, strength, weaknesses. I first now that's the difference between me and everybody. People say as a coach, first work on the weakness of a player. No, I work on the strength of the player first. Then I find a bit on the weakness. Because I am sure if he's strong drive on the right, Let anybody standing on your way on the right know you're coming. Let them think about it. So gradually, as for them to think, it's on right-handed. Meanwhile, in background, I'm working on the left side. When they least expect it, the man chooses the left hand. You can't say anymore. So I first work on the strength of the player, then I pan a bit slowly on the weakness. Then when I go into the game, I always, during my last training sessions, I scout individual players of that team, of that defense, what they open do mostly. For example, my last year in Division 1, I knew we were playing a few teams which have got press defense. So they did the press, but I knew 100%, there's no team which have press 100%. So I only kept on working on beating their press, and open opportunities for us. So I then work on players' strength, mental strength. Our last game won the game in 3.6 seconds. Yeah. It's because I told my players, these boys are young, so we have got one key thing. We've got some extra brain for them. We've been in NBL before, they've never been there. You know what it means. We've been at this level before, they've never been at this level before. They'll play with the energy, but the key area will be at the brain level, which now, what lucky. So, experienced player, 32, as you all know him, went on the line and sealed the game for us.
Indeed.
So that's as we said as a coach. Last time we coached on that. What they call basketball is called coach on the run. You don't stop the play. You communicate with players individually. I'm seeing Vinny is coming with a strong drive on this side. We minimize. How do you make sure? Because in basketball, any senior player cannot be stopped, but can be minimized. If Vin makes 30 points in the games he's been playing, I want 15. My player gets me 15, I'm happy. So I make sure I play with my players. I do pick up with my players, so they know I know what's happening on court. So that's the key areas I use as a coach.
Okay, I introduced you on the start of the show as an aspirant for Member of Parliament, Kampala Central.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about Baker the politician.
Wow. It's been a while. We've had so many people claiming to represent us in different areas. Some have played the games all different, maybe football, whatever it is, in years. Not at this generation of ours now. So right now, we have an opportunity as someone who's still active, who's feeling the pain, who has seen kids coming from the grassroots, from down. Like I've told you, my background came from Chisenyi Mengo, but I've made it in career through sports. That's an area where last year we got some good funding from the government. And I believe if now we have got somebody who's from this background, because I can tell Stephen Bengo was from the hood. He's a senior player. Ouma, the boxer. We have got Nyakana. He's also from the ghetto. So basically, why do we keep having people from the higher class area to represent us from the ghetto, who are the core from these areas? We've got our problems, and the talent has been developed, except swimming, where the elite families have been able to excel at level. But for sports, football, basketball, cricket guys are doing that, rugby guys, all of that. They are from what they call the slum areas of Kampala. Some areas of Kampala also got the biggest votes in Uganda. Talk about it in Kampala right now. Kamocha area. So they got 10 zones, big board. Mengo area, where I was born, they got 12 areas. Kampala, out of the 20 parishes, yeah, the Kagugu Bays, the Mengos, the Bukesas, the Kamochas, they're the key areas where the biggest votes come from. But for how long are we going to keep saying, okay, leadership is for the guys from the upper areas? I believe at this moment, I am able to view and give out ebizu byaffe abantu bawansi kati batugamba tusoke mugeto tetusoma kati nsomye mugeto temuli bantu basobola kwewaayo kuweza bannaabwe wendi ekyo nagambye abantu bange omuntu yena abawa ssente muzirye kubanga bazirye muffe nazitwala bazitwala emyaka 5 bajjani basobola akalulu tuba wakalu ne bagenda twadde mutalo gumu 15 muziri ezo naye kusonga y'okulonda waliri mulonde omwana wammwe bwogenda okugamba nti mwagala ekamwokya ogende wa ali mu kifumbiro omufune omwagala Mengo ogenda mukyanansale kulagala oddo omufune omwana wammwe kati ku nsonga eyo ndaba nga time is for us now for sports people to have their real people or people from the lower ground to have their real people, not I'm a neighborhood, I'm nearby, I can represent. That's why the key thing is I'm asking. That's why I got the intention said, let me stand for this. I know first of all, right now it's the youth time. Only enough people are voting for that. Then if God blesses me and it's me who's the candidate for that, for the people, and the people vote the right person, who is me, because I am from them. And they've got the biggest vote. Why not now? If I join parliament, I represent everybody. Even people from the higher classes, they've got their needs. But right now, the need it's us from the slums. And what's us who are always voting so hard. So that's why I'm aspiring to go and represent the people with the right voice. We've had issues recently for the last 10 years. If I can break it down. We had the road, before we had the road mayor, who was in parliament, is a lawyer, so Mr. Kwago. After that, we had Muhammad Nsereko coming as NRM. Then it was Honorable Muhammad Nsereko coming. Now this time became as independent. So now we've got issue now here. The president says 90% you find them, they're always having cheap. I call them cheap fights because where I come from, if I want my dad to give me something, I don't fight him or back at him. I find ample time in his good mood so that there's ABC that needs to be addressed or changed. Even my mom. Me before my mom, right now in my life, my mom right now, I don't agree with often. If she tells me something, she can be able to say anything she wants to speak. When the people are available, I'll keep quiet. Even if she's wrong, I'll find time when she's in her bedroom. I say, Mommy, you know, yesterday you accused me of A, B, C, D. But Mom, this is my version of the story. To the public, she stays as mom and she's handled everything. At home, she says, hey, my son, I think my son is grown up now. Me personally, before my mom would tell me, how do you ask me about accountability for my money? But right now, I ask her and she accounts for it. It's her money, but she says, hey, he's grown up and the idea here is to develop. So President Seven has told us always that we've been voting the wrong way. That it is good to have pressure groups. They're very good because they make you understand things. But if you've got two kids at home, one speaks to you softly, another one keeps loudly and making noise. Of the two, who do you listen to? I am sure any mom, any dad in the world, the one who speaks softly to you will be the first option. You will address the person who's making loud noise, but at your own pace. That's why it's right now in Kampala Central. We've got the biggest potholes. Nengulengera, Jinja Highway, Rikiria, Mbalala, Masaka, Gulu, Ntebe. Wana nguza vazikozi. Newane not in Central, meaning we've got the biggest tax base in all aspects. Why do we have potholes in Kampala? Communication between the road mayor, because the MP doesn't have money, but he can lobby for us. Right now, look at me, I can do something interesting, which is painful. Lubaga has got an ambulance. Naka has got an ambulance. Kampala Central, 20 parishes don't even have an example of an ambulance. Why? As a member of parliament, you know people who need it from Chisenyi, from Kamocha, from Kagugube, from Bukesa, from Old Kampala. But funny, your ambulance, in your people you lobby from. You lobby from people like your good donors from up countries, from outside countries, Germany, where. But Sabi, Banangi, Munyambe, ambulance, Yaman to Bawansi Kali, as very kind of Yazo Kazoka, Papa Sokuzukua. I think Bazukua Nino, Okama government, Nuzabantuange, tax free, ready plates. Omuntu awansi na eh kakati nzo kwanga nzinikuide mu bantu awansi manye bizu byaffe bamama bazajja kuboda boda neka nafuti chance na funyenga member parliament I can go before those above countries different chance ezo ambi sineziberawo neno neziyama ku government yabirya fenna nina obwa mwana muto kiba waka bobera bwekizungu mwana okola oga mama leyo nange mzee zaleseewo kameza nange nyongedde ku ki zizino sigama nti okola mulimu gwa government naye oyambako kubanga gwe muntu first of all gwe nyini gwenanyi ekizibu gwe so okuyinzako solution. That's why I'm aspiring to Parliament Kampala Central, and right now we're pursuing FIBA from NIM.
So many people speak the sports language, in particular the youth and the young ones, compared to the old guys back in the day. What changes will you bring in the sports sector if you get there?
Okay. This was had been in a low profile, but I can tell you right now that with me, Grace Kwizera, the Chief of Staff, Major General El Cleopold Chanda, the first daughter Natasha, working on a project of having a new arena in Uganda and working through paperwork through the government to come through that. That arena will, in Kampala, I want it in Central. You don't know which is very far only. In Central here, it has got a swimming pool of Olympic size, 50 meters, basketball, football, tennis, volleyball, track and field area. Already Nangin, Bakamabangabo, Mbawa Ventures, Ambrose Ashobia, who's a former president, who's now vice president of the Olympic Committee, is working on that structure out. So nange wanseno nkwana abantu bange mpola tukolako ekimu. Right now government is working on getting back Nachimbo Stadium, good for us. We have got the KBC, the simple gym happening through. Hatina ubanga ndi mu parliament nsobola okulobinga tulina abaana bangi mu Kampala nga agenda mu training okuwa ebikonde talina na gloves talina na kamere bajudde kamu kya boxa bangi nnyo ne glove tagiina otegera ba footballers bakasama wali Kira Road police station mukataka asambya babigera abaana bofuna chance nti member of parliament for a chance of lobbying because my job I'm telling you ngenda kusaka I'm going to lobby. If I'm lobbying this guys come through niba ngama nti mvuka munaye nange sebo nzega mu parliament imukano je mfunye je jino jafunako engato say 100 pairs mukozesezo nga bo developing talent yo but omwana afunye opportunity ngali mulungi ogenda asoga because right now I can tell you the young girl called Econ in UCU. I recently spoke to a scout called Brenda. She's Kenyan and now she's in the US. Econ very soon will be in the US. Econ, I've seen her in basketball. There's nothing between me and her we have got a relationship or friendship. No, but I've seen good talent. This is a young girl I know about who's good to do something this. So, unless because the rest of the COVID, all these things have been slowed down. So, nganze njakubanga nsuubira okufuna opportunity. Abantu sportsmen kubanga mwembeera mwenkulidde opportunities okuzifuna. Nina mikwano e Bulaaya. Gyesobola kuba nange nfunyeyo omwana bw'ati agende. So, ndowooza nga nange opportunity nga ngifunye nga member of parliament nja kutya mu sports omwo okugyayo more talent. Kubanga talent mwe ziri mu Uganda ne export teziriiwo. For example, about let me tell you about this. Post-COVID peace or Kuva Arua, when we began KCCA Leopards, yeah, basketball in 2004, 2007, 8, in Tumetam Kampala, Manya Netball. We met her through basketball. Nafuna exposure for other people abroad. Nagina much in the netball way, but she's a star. I'm happy to be a part of that lady. I'm very happy. She passed through my hands at a different level. I said, "Bantu banji nyo na ye I cannot go. I've got an opportunity. Omwana ngoyo na mwaka chance to go into. Kana Agatha agenda basketball na agenda. Marion was playing for Sparks. Now she's in the US Army. She's a major. So I'm feeling a chance to kwata ku bantu ne bagenda. Right now in football, bagambe bad example. Dorian is playing for the Greece national team. Nadeko chance wako mulamu bwe. So kati banga atenfunye ka chance nga ngo parliament nga so klobinga abantu abo nibaga ne munyambeko nina abantu eka mocha nina abantu eka gugube nina abantu emengo abantu abo nfuna chance ko opportunities ezo nga facilities ezisobola okujjawo kale nga mukisenyi our Somali community bakozeewo ka small tough zone area ka tough zone area ako if you give them opportunities they can also have competitions is it healthy abaana nga tubanende abaana balekayo okunyinjaga oba kunywa mwenge gokka naye nsobola chance okaki oba kasobola okukozesa sports as an avenue for making money. They can make money. One of the parliament recently when we came back from when we had the mission in Uganda with national schools when we came through last year when we had East African secondary schools games when Uganda won everything. The army sports teams also the overall winners of East African military games. You get Yatugamba yafuna medal ye in 2006 up to now he still gets $5,000 every month for that gold medal. Kati chance banga njifunye nze okulobinga bannange abana talent abo bakisibayambako. So we don't have chance nganze mu parliament nkakasa ntoko okulobinga bwento ntufuna bana afe na chance eyo kama wange.
Okay.
Yes sir.
So what are some of your objectives as a politician?
One key thing is I want to have the gap between the government, the central government, and people of Kampala Central. Kampala Central has not been represented well. That's why we're suffering with potholes. We have got no fast aid, quick facilities like I told you about ambulances, which we need to have area. We have not been helping to able to Muslims have my Islam is some few areas. Recently, I don't know if you've seen on my social media where I've been moving. Like in Kamosha, there's some few areas where I can be presented and something simple comes through. With that kind of help, government, if NRM gets, if I'm lucky to be the flag bearer and a member of parliament, I can tap through the government funds from the NRM funds themselves, because I'll be working for NRM to ensure that they can work with the people, which they can do. But they've been asking no area who they can use. No parliament are the independent. Lord Mayor wa DP. Division Mayor Nkusanyeji wa DP. Kati yawo fano nebange narrow down. Neba ngafunye nti parliament nkube ndulu banange mutuyambe kuba nange eno. Madam Speaker tuyambe keno or whoever the Speaker parliament will be by the time either man or female or female kijete mamungeyo okufuna chance. Mr. President abe Kampala tuli bubi kubanga sawa eyo ja kubanga okolera abakana Kampala wa DP wa FDC wa chi wa papa it doesn't matter ujja kwa kolera abantu baki ba Kampala nkakasa jafuna gap eyo ji breaching ebere wangu eshara bakadazi ba NRM na veterans abo trafunye opportunity ezo bakola before maybe because they've been now the connection, the gap has been low. But mama bali kumugozi bazibeera bokka bakola NRM kubanga mama bali mu ntalo za NRM ngejja mu power right now. Basinga mama basinga bali kumugozi baira baira kunga mama afe the best thing they can do is kula bwezi nguzo kazoka nzinya kujja kwen hansinga because project za president Museveni zagamba kadwe manganze mfunye ba leaders from Kambucha Kololo Mengo Kagugube Bukesa Odi Kampala Summit View Civic Center na chivo na misenyi mona nino ya munde avuka bayine bina yabe bafuga bobe nyini bamuze bafwe batata bayine byabwe bamba bayine byabwe abayine obule mu mikolo gyabwe bayine group zabwe nemaga mandika ati mu group eno atugambe yavubuka mukiche mwagala okukola wena aga munefe twakuta scrap mu wino nini naye tuna scrap tumujja nga kanta emu ya scrap ya sente meka nti gatu jifunye bifuka dinga kamwa bubiri nga MP so globinga kunenga kufuna nebandi kati group ya 20 echa scrap awo ekole amasepichi frying pan abana bakoze ebitebyo bajja bitunda biguza abantu bajja kubba bamama bayine bitebyo bayitweka nange mishwina cha kituna ne chibenja fitula lono so fumba chai oba okopera tufunako ku level za restaurant obuli fair oba so kufa mfumuli muntu ngatufuna endibota avuka endibota na mama endibota Ndeba majja kwanta joka yafe babanda wakulu jofuna ezo. Ndefa abala joka byafe byasala by'emyaka yafe byaffe. Bandi abala 10 abala 5 balina ka boutique ke bakoleramu. Buli mwezi buli mwezi atenda emitwalo ejeji ebiri teka mu kasako kabwawo. Every after month iyo bongera maka sente na business yo anene mu shares ye oba na grow something else. Ogenda okulanga gradually ofunye nti abantu bakula bonna kubanga nange sikasafuna mukisa okufuna opportunities okufuna once we ogenda ya basketball ofuna abantu bagenda okunkwatako santusa no wendi kale banga afune chance eyo nabe mu parliament nsobola okulobinga mpola bwento nange nisobola chance okuwaki bana Kampala. Okay. Then sports yedi yakuwa nabwani kubanga sports key leaders baba bona President Museveni mwamla recent no covid na kwa workout yiye before mumujuke emyaka jejagwa ngasanja kapie na mbole oshegera kacho ina uhuru tukuza naye abadinga mukuru kwa mafe ali mu moto sport in different areas kunyakana ye boxer oshegera kati bangu ina abantu ngabo mu parliament oshegera kama wange ngofuna ku national cake wali eri nga MP nosaba constituency yo bajambe ko bitagira nosaba mu NRM wali ngoyina osobola okwenhance sports in different areas. At least you can have different movable turf grounds. This is what we kujja. Oya FNL waneno movable courts. Ote ekyo nti osokumane courts ezi movable nozifuna okubebula ya mikwano kye mukwanye different areas abantu banja balina small ground areas abafukaso okwachi okuya involved in sports omu talent language ojabuzi no sale ko kubo noingia muka restaurant yao nuya emmere kubei yafe ya wansi mifo kirungi nnyo nogenda maso bimwe yongera dola mubwe yengiria kama njinja kala kwabo nafuye chance okuza bana Kampala.
Okay, then another question is why NRM?
Right now, for those of viewers, I'm 35 years of age now. Basically, yefe abana movement abakuze. Amama bafatalafe abala ku jire emirembe jaita. The previous regimes are always talking only pain. Bakubwanga batibwanga nzina kumulirizaako. Right now MT right now movement nti amanyi ka ntola abako musiufu ampisa na ye kaduse ndi mabe Masaka owa police musajja yeyocha police yavudeyo n'amaanyi nkwasaganyako abantu baabwe notunulako nti kati saa zino ne movements eziriwo kati for example people power zenkakasa bulungi nnyo nga natya Mukama Katonda nti ne Bobi Wine yakulya kwa wajejange kamoja nini yakoze sente ze mu regime eno is a rich man before even being politician said that has demo nimbe ba kama for example road mayor said that has funye muno regime so muri mwaso yenda mzee koze ne birungi byekoledde abantu nayo bingi nnyo kubanga bagamba nga edantu ana babafanga polio bamika fa polio kati mu Uganda. So tuna chance for medication wado ose medication bafuna mu buzibu nti manye bidega lyade aliseko binana bibawo kwa mu nsi yonna yenna okujja kantu nga kibatambuddeeko n'ogenda ko Botswana n'ogenda ko Malawi n'ogenda Somalia n'ogenda ko South Sudan weewunya ono mu Kampala mu Uganda muno NRM mugimogerako abantu ba bulijjo bali video people ina ku sente they owning arcades properties in Kampala na ye ebingi egiseeko tebyaliwo kale ng'omwana akulidde waka muzadde wakwaloga muze yankudde kibo kubwereere alwakuba ng'okuze ensobi so ngamba bwenti nti NRM tesinduukirivu naye ekoze okusinga emirembe emirala ate era bwe nafuna kati ngaffe kubanga nange nadde nga ngamba nti nange ndi muvubuka naye bagamba mwana gwalabyeko ye mwana nze naye myoka gye ndabyeku nga gavumenti tata wange yaza mu gavumenti nga mukaaga Zamini Kitokero Yusuf Lule ne ya Museveni egikola emyaka 20 naye yaffe era nga ŋŋamba bannange mulonde Museveni mulonde NRM kubanga gye tuvudde walala nnyo wazibu nnyo so ku nsonga ezo nti abasinga bonna opposition bonna sana zikoze muno otina Dr. Besigye mutuufu bantu balina ebintu batakkaanyaako Dr. Besigye alina petrol stations mu Kampala zikola ssente sasa move timu mwazikolera so opposition nayo ssente zikoze muno mubazijje bafune chance ofuna abafandazi okuva e Bulaaya so kati lwakinze ngenda mubali lwakisibala n'owange gwenkuze naye gwemanye ensobize nga nfunye chance okuva member parliament njoba afunye audience ofuna chance ndiso ofuna application ya President Museveni nga sigonze kutya wala nnyo kwetoloola nga muzeeyi ensonga bweti kati for example nze mu Kampala biruma abantu baffe mu Kampala we chance eyo so mukama wange kibanze nsazeewo nzine NRM ndi sintuukirivu naye ate njaako kubanga mu NRM baddemu obuzibuzibu alwaina misunderstandings naye muzeeyi afunye chance n'akwasaganya ki those misunderstandings within the NRM naye olina akola ekibiina n'akibeerako ne n'afuna omwala then ne baawukana endowooza onaagenda asimanyi mu alliance endala onaagivaamu abantu nyine mu kibiina nk'okudefectinga bwe munagenda bagenze bwe munabagera muno obubi kati nze ndowooza nze kati nze bakana ne mama wange obanga yakoze ensobi sikiragera ku mulwana mu byogere naye neekumaakuma naye saa zino all other political parties zinaako if they get misunderstandings they spit out everything in public they only complain to everybody so there's no harmony amongst them nengamba kangumire ku NRM nalabyeko egezezzaako yo okukwasaganya muki muzibe namwe bapadesemu kama
so another one do you think corona is real?
I'm not thinking.
I want you to talk to the public and advise them about corona.
Bakama bange corona jali corona atta nze muganda ngomo mukulu ali mu America ate nga musawo doctor yala corona naye banyinazi babiri i London bala corona banaye corona jali atta distancing eyo gyagala bannange mugikozese kubanga omuntu akuli kumpi nnyo teako masiki yo kubanga munnange okwenda si buti kona gyali baganda bange faddugavu kati naye gyatukubamu nga tubanjawulo nti tutwala nga babalwala naye ffe osomwala n'omuwona nga tutegenda kutegeera naye mbazumuye abatanga tabu ate bannange kituufu kona gyali virus gyeri Bannayuganda bannange temukibuusabuusa nkamanyi corona is there sir.
Okay, so do you have any last remarks for viewers outside there about you, how to inspire them, why they should vote for you and anything?
Bannayuganda tuwadde tukwemeddwa abakulu baffe ngeri enjawulo bagezezzaako basobodde okukola naye nze olw'okuba engeri gye nkuzeemu ebintu bye tuyiseemu bitulabyeko manyi nsobola okuweereza okusinga kubanga nva mu bifo byennyini ebitaago ebiri mu bwetaavu mwenkulidde mwensomedde kaakati abana na Kampala mufunye omukisa okufuna omwana wamwe gwe mukuzizza avudde mu geto nga mmwe mungotteko muno mumuwe omukisa ogwo atuuse obwetaavu bwaffe eri mukama waffe mu parliament tusabe atusaka ffenna nzajja mukakkamu ndi muntu mulamu ndi wa ddembe nnyo nnyumira nnyo ebyemizannyo era mwenjiri okusinziira ku nsonga nti abavubuka badde bafunye obuzibu obwo nga beetaaga muvubuka munnaabwe ali mu swago y'emu neyaabwe nsaba mumpu akalulwako nabiri abavubuka abakadde abalina obulemu bamama baffe naddala bamama baffe bannange ali ku nguudo okwo tubaggyeko tubaleka mu bifo ebisobola okukolako obulungi nkyamulonde nze omwana wamwe kubanga nze mutuufu.
Okay, well, that has been Baker Mande Chambade, a very young, vibrant man. For the viewers outside there, please give him your vote. There are a lot of changes going to come if we vote Baker Mande in. Baker, thank you for coming.
I am humbled, sir, for the invitation.
I hope next time when we invite you here, you come on.
Sir, first of all, if my aim is to serve people and you're called on to share the knowledge with everybody, if you keep quiet, you'll be a mean person.
Very true.
Because even me, if I had people who are mean with me, I wouldn't be anything like this.
Yeah.
Because you can believe I am pushing myself alone through the struggle, not anybody else. So I thank you for, first of all, for you so being a young man to run this studio. You being a solution to the problem. I want to be a solution to the problem, not to make noise about it. The people you're employing here, God only knows that. But if somebody finds you outside when you're playing on code, I'm giving you elbows, don't even think you're a CEO somewhere and you can afford to sort of help people. Chindaga nango kola. Ya wenkomi waneno nga ndinzeka kali ufune chance wanga ndi mu buyinza wa parliament mwesobola okusabira ekinene nange papa. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
Okay, welcome. Well, that has been Around the Game, a very bright day with the man himself, Baker Mande Chambade. I hope it goes through